Hello and welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I know it's been a while. Had some technical difficulties in my life, but hopefully we've resolved those. I'm back, y'all, and I have actually a lot of footage to share with you and a lot of ideas for meals. I just wanted to hop on here really quick to talk about today's video. And what I have for you today is just kind of a mismatch of a bunch of different recipes from a week in my life. I have 5 different meal ideas for you this week. So this isn't going to be a traditional recipe video. This is just going to be more of like a conceptual video where I show you different meals that I've put together throughout the week. I do this really randomly, so this will be a good representation for you to see how I put things together. So essentially I'll have a craving for something and then I'll be like, oh, that sounds good. What do I have that I could make that type of dish? And then I just kind of go off of that, really. So there are no measurements. I did not measure. I just filmed myself making the food that I ate this week. And this isn't everything that I ate this week. I just picked a few different meals throughout the week that I did make. There is one breakfast recipe in here, and then the rest you can do for dinner or lunch. But I just thought it would be fun to share with you what I eat throughout the week and maybe give you some different concepts or meal ideas to go ahead and make for yourself. So just keep watching to check out a few of the meals that I had this week. Okay, let's make a quesadilla. So I start with a tortilla, just spray that with some butter spray, lay down a little bit of cheese, and then I had some leftover taco meat, so I put that on there. And of course I had to use my favorite Tostitos salsa con queso. Then I put some tortilla strips in there. I just get those from the salad aisle. And then I add a little bit more cheese just to help it stick together. And then we're just gonna make sure that that gets nice and toasty brown on both sides. Just like that. The butter on there really helps it to get nice and crispy brown. And then we're just gonna cut it up. So this is so much easier to fold it in half to cut. So I just take a pizza cutter and cut little triangles out. Plus it's also easier to eat this way. Instead of having those 2 tortillas stacked on top of each other, I just find this way easier. And this was so good. It reminded me of those burritos from Taco Bell. The ones that have the Fritos in them. So good. This next meal is definitely a little more time consuming, but so worth it. So I make a rice pilaf, which I'll show you how to do. And then I made those bacon wrapped scallops that I got from Aldi. They're so good. So first we're going to start by trimming up and cutting up some Brussels sprouts. So I just trim the outer leaves off and then just cut them right in half, just like that. And then I just line them on a parchment lined cookie sheet and drizzle them with olive oil. And I just simply season these with salt and with pepper. Then I just popped those in the oven and roasted them around 425 until they were done, basically. So now let's make the rice pilaf. I start with putting some of that, can't believe it's not butter, in the pan, and then some onion, and then my rinsed rice. I'm using brown rice this time. And you just want to keep stirring that around. What we're doing is we're getting off all that liquid, and we're also browning up our rice. If you don't do this, I do this every time. And then that bouillon, the better than bouillon, is so good. So you want your rice to be this toasty brown, and then you want to add your water. And then you want to add some dried parsley to that, just eyeball it, salt and pepper. And then I just put this umami seasoning in there from Trader Joe's. You don't have to use that, I just like it. Then you just want to get that all nice and stirred up. And then I would normally do this while I was browning up the rice. But if you've ever had rice Aroni, essentially all it is just rice with some little bits of spaghetti in there. So this is what I'm doing there. And then this is what the Brussels sprouts looked like when they came out of the oven. And then I just topped them with balsamic glaze and some bacon bits. These scallops were so good, I highly recommend. And of course, my pilaf is good because I make it all the time and I just love it. So you definitely should try this out. All right, we're back to pretty easy meals here. So I'm just making a buffalo chicken salad. So I just start with just a mixture of lettuce, whatever you prefer. Then I like to spice it up and mix one of those cabbagey lettuce mix kits in it just for texture, and it's fun to eat. Then just any kind of tomato you have on hand. Then you can just add any kind of chicken that you have. I just had one of those fried fillets from Aldi as well. Then I add bacon bits. And this is the real showstopper. You have to add fries to your salad. If you've never done this before, do it. And then just some red onion if you like red onion. If you don't, leave it out. Of course, a little bit of cheese on there. Then I drizzle with my buffalo sauce and some ranch, whatever kind you like. And this is so good. It satisfies like a craving for wings and fries, but it's a salad. How cool is that? All right, and this meal for this night, I just had some pizza. So I like Hawaiian pizza. Don't come at me. Pineapple belongs on my kind of pizza. So I'm just chopping some deli meat that I had on hand. And then I'm taking my 2-ingredient dough. If you haven't seen my previous video, this is just equal parts of fat-free Greek yogurt and self-rising flour. I just used a half a cup and split it into 2, and now I'm just rolling it out. You want to make sure that you use a fair amount of flour for this because it is a sticky dough. And then I'm just putting on some pizza sauce on both of the pizzas. And I like store-bought pizza sauce. My taste buds like it, so that's what I use. This is from Target, actually. And then just make sure you get a good amount on both sides of the pizza, but not too much because this is a thin crust. And then I put garlic powder, onion powder. I make this on all homemade pizzas. And then Italian seasoning as well. And then I'm adding part skim mozzarella here. I do a thin layer because I do add some more on top. And then just adding the toppings on there. I kind of doctored up my Hawaiian pizza, so I put ham on it. And then a pineapple, of course. Then I put some red onion and some bacon bits. And then the other one I'm just doing plain pepperoni. I do turkey pepperoni. I think it tastes just as fine as regular pepperoni. And then I always just sprinkle a little bit of extra cheese on top just to get all nice and melty. And then some more of the Italian seasoning. And this is them when they come out of the oven. I just cut them up with my handy dandy pizza cutter. I like to cut these types of pizzas this way as opposed to trying to figure out what a triangle is. And then I just serve it with some ranch that I have put some buffalo sauce in. And these pizzas are amazing. And last but not least, let's make some breakfast. So I'm on a blistered tomato kick, so I just put those on pretty high heat while I'm putting on my bacon to cook. And then I just season those tomatoes up with some salt and some pepper. And then I just add some red onion. You can leave this out if you prefer. And then just stir them around for a little bit, and then I try to smash them as I go. You want to get all the liquid out of them because we're making an omelet and you don't want a soggy omelet. So, plus the juices get all nice and caramelized when you saute them. And then next I'm going to add a heaping handful of spinach to that. Give that a good stir till it wilts down. And then I'm just cracking 2 eggs right into this mixture. You could mix it up prior to this if you wanted to, but you don't need to. This worked out just fine for me, and I kind of like the mixture of whites and yolks, getting a little bit of each in every bite. And then of course you just want to add some cheese on top because what's an omelet without cheese? And then I just put a lid on that just to get the cheese melted, and then make sure my bacon gets all nice and cooked up and crispy. And look at that bacon. That is a beauty shot if I ever saw one. And then I just served this up with some good old white bread with some jelly on it. And then of course some ketchup for my eggs. Okay, you all, that's everything that I have in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching. And I am back on my game, so definitely keep checking back for new videos and new recipe ideas. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!